Have you ever caught yourself just staring at your dog, wondering what on earth is going through their head? Maybe they're calmly licking your feet, or dragging their butt across the floor like they're plotting something hilarious. Or maybe they do that big dramatic stretch every time you walk into the room. And all you can do is laugh. Because let's be real, most of the time, we have no clue what any of it means. But here's the thing. These quirky little behaviors aren't just random or weird for the sake of it. They're actually your dog's way of communicating. They speak through instincts, emotions, and body language because they can't use words like we do. What seems odd or silly to us might actually be a quiet sign of love, trust, or even an emotional or physical need they're trying to share. In this video, we're diving into those behaviors, decoding them one by one, not just to understand your dog better, but to help you connect with them on a whole new level. Because when you really start listening, you'll realize just how much your dog has been trying to tell you all along. And hey, if building a deeper, more meaningful bond with your pup is something that matters to you, make sure you hit that subscribe button so you never miss more content like this. All right, let's jump in. We're starting with one behavior you've definitely seen 100 times, but may have completely misunderstood. You walk through the door, and before you can even set your bag down, bam, you're met with an enthusiastic leap from your dog. Sure, it can be a bit much, especially if you've got a bigger pup. But the message they're sending is pure gold. I missed you so much. Dogs don't follow human manners. They don't shake hands or give polite bows. What they do know is that jumping up gets them closer to your face, where your scent, your emotions, and your bond live strongest. This behavior actually goes way back to when they were puppies, jumping up to lick their mother's face for attention or food. Now, it's their way of reaching out for affection from you. If the jumping gets a little too much, like when guests arrive, don't scold them. Instead, stay calm, turn away, and wait. Only give them attention once they've settled down. With a little patience, your dog can learn how to express all that love, without knocking anyone over in the process. You're chilling on the couch, all relaxed, when suddenly, your dog starts spinning like a furry tornado, chasing his own tail. It's hilarious, no doubt, but if it happens a lot, it might be time to pay attention. For puppies, tail chasing is usually just innocent fun. Their tail is basically a built-in toy. Why wouldn't they chase it? But for adult dogs, especially those not getting enough physical or mental stimulation, this behavior could be a sign of boredom, stress, or even anxiety. See, dogs can't binge-watch Netflix or scroll through TikTok like we do. When they're understimulated, they spin in circles to release energy or to calm themselves down. The fix? Get them outside more. Let them play with other dogs, explore new places, or give them puzzle toys that work their brain. A tired dog is a happy dog, and usually one who gives their tail a much-needed break. Ever seen your dog suddenly bolt around the house like a tiny tornado? Congrats! You've just witnessed the legendary Zoomies. Nope, it's not a glitch in the system. It's actually a real thing with a very official name, FRAPS, short for Frenetic Random Activity Periods. Dogs usually burst into these wild sprints after being held back, like after a bath, a vet visit, or being cooped up inside all day. Sometimes, though, it's just their way of saying, I'm happy, I'm free, life is awesome. Whether it's the joy of being outside, playtime, or just seeing you again, it all builds up and explodes into Zoom mode. If your home has the space, let them go for it. If not, head to a park or a yard where they can safely let loose. A quick energy burst in the right place beats a chewed-up couch any day. And speaking of quirky dog behavior, have you ever noticed what happens right after they do their business on a walk? Out of nowhere, they start aggressively scratching at the ground, like they're digging for treasure. You might think they're just trying to cover it up, but that's not exactly what's going on. It's your dog's way of leaving a personal mark, kind of like carving their name into an ancient wall. Dogs have scent glands in their paw pads, and when they scratch the ground, they're releasing a unique scent. Think of it like a scent-based business card for other dogs to find. But it's not just about the smell. Those scratch marks? They're a visual message, too. A bold little statement that says, "I was here." Both male and female dogs do this. It's a totally natural way of communicating and marking territory. And unless it's happening on your living room rug, there's really no need to stop them. Your dog licks your feet. That cold, wet sensation can feel a little weird, or downright gross for some people. But in a dog's world, it's packed with meaning. Dogs have a special sensory tool called Jacobson's organ, which allows them to both smell and taste at the same time. And your feet? They're like a gold mine of information, full of sweat, hormones, and pheromones. To your dog, licking your feet is more than just curiosity. It's a way to feel close. It's affection. It's bonding. Sometimes, it's even just a way of saying, "Hey, I missed you. Where have you been?" If you've just come home after a long day, that little lick might be your dog checking in on you in the only way they know how. Now, if the licking becomes excessive or is paired with anxious behaviors, it might be a sign your dog needs more mental stimulation, or just a healthy outlet for extra energy. In some cases, talking to a behaviorist can help. Licking is communication. And while they can't speak, dogs have a beautiful way of expressing the emotions they feel. One paw, one lick at a time. There's one dog behavior that usually gets an instant, "Oh no, why?" Yep. When a dog eats poop? As gross as it sounds, it's actually more common than you might think. The behavior has a name, coprophagia, and it can be traced all the way back to puppyhood. Mother dogs instinctively clean up after their pups by eating their waste, keeping the den safe and hygienic. Puppies watch and sometimes copy that behavior, especially if they grow up in stressful or understimulated environments. As adults, dogs might eat poop out of boredom, anxiety, or even to get your attention, because, let's be honest, your reaction is usually pretty dramatic. The key is not to panic or punish. Instead, try to calmly figure out what's behind it. It could be a nutritional deficiency, a lack of mental stimulation, or underlying stress. Make sure your dog has a clean environment, plenty of enrichment, and meaningful interaction. And if the behavior continues, don't hesitate to reach out to your vet for advice. Because sometimes, what seems like the grossest habit is just another way your dog is coping with the world. Sure, some dog behaviors can be a little unpleasant, but then there are moments so tender they stop you in your tracks. Your dog, lying on their back, legs stretched out, belly completely exposed. It's more than just an adorable nap pose. It's a declaration. I feel safe here. In the dog world, the belly and throat are the most vulnerable areas. A dog only shows them when they feel completely secure, when they trust you and sense no threat in their environment. This position also helps with cooling down. On hot days, exposing the less furry skin on their belly helps release excess heat and regulate their body temperature. So next time you see your dog flopped over like that, don't just smile and keep walking. Sit down. Give them a gentle rub on the chest or neck. That simple touch says, "I love you. I trust you too." And that same sense of calm and comfort? It's also why dogs love to lie in the sun. Some people joke that they're trying to be like cats, but in reality, it's a deeply rooted instinct. Dogs naturally have a higher body temperature than humans, and basking in the sun helps them reach that perfect, comforting warmth. But it's not just about staying cozy. Sunlight offers real health benefits for dogs, from improving blood circulation by dilating blood vessels to easing sore muscles and joint pain, especially in senior pups. It also boosts melatonin production, a hormone that helps improve sleep quality. Still, moderation is key. If your dog starts panting heavily, lies in the sun too long, or seems overly tired, it's time to guide them into the shade and offer fresh water. Warm sunshine is a friend, but like all good things, too much of it can become harmful. Now, speaking of things that feel a little too intense, let's talk about those eyes. You know the ones. Your dog locking eyes with you for a surprisingly long time, sometimes even during, well, your most private moments, like using the bathroom. It feels a little weird, maybe even a bit creepy. But behind that unblinking stare, there's more meaning than you might think. When a dog is relieving itself, it's in one of its most vulnerable states. So when your dog stares at you during those moments, it's not curiosity. It's a quiet request. Please watch over me. In the wild, pack members take turns standing guard, while others are distracted. That instinct still lives in your dog. So that intense gaze while they're going to the bathroom? It's their way of asking you to be their lookout. You don't have to do much. A soft glance, a calm presence nearby. That's all it takes to reassure them. It's a small act, but it carries so much weight. Because in that moment, your dog is saying, "I trust you with my safety." And sometimes, that trust shows up in even more tender ways, like when your dog curls up against you as they sleep. They press their back into you, breathing gently, maybe even letting out a sleepy sigh or a dream whimper. It's not because there's no other place to sleep. It's because you are their safe place. Since puppyhood, dogs have huddled together for warmth and protection. That closeness, the contact, the rhythm of your breathing, it tells them, "I'm home, I'm okay." From the moment they're born, puppies sleep close to their mother and litter mates for warmth, comfort, and connection. As they grow, that role shifts. You become their safe space. So when your dog curls up next to you at night, it's not just about being cozy. It's their way of saying, "I feel loved, I feel protected, I belong here." And if things get a little cramped, it's totally okay to gently shift their position. Just don't push them away harshly. To your dog, this is one of the most intimate, trust-filled moments of their entire day. But, of course, not every moment is a calm cuddle. There are also those times when your dog starts trembling, shaking at the sound of thunder, fireworks, or even the vacuum cleaner. To us, it's just noise. To your dog, whose hearing is many times more sensitive, it's a full-blown soundstorm. Shaking, flinching, or running to hide, these are all natural survival responses. Just like you might react to a sudden bang in the middle of the night, your dog is doing the same, but with heightened sensitivity. To them, thunder, fireworks, or even a vacuum cleaner are unpredictable and uncontrollable threats. Their sympathetic nervous system kicks in fast. Heart pounding, breathing quickens, muscles tense. When you notice these signs, that's your cue to step in. A gentle hug, a cozy hiding spot, or even just your calm, steady presence can help ease their anxiety. Whatever you do, don't try to force them to get over it. Fear, just like in humans, isn't something that disappears under pressure. It needs time, compassion, and patience. And while we're talking about reactions, let's move from sound to motion. One behavior that often catches dog owners off guard is head shaking. At first, it might seem like nothing, a harmless twitch. But if your dog is doing it often, it could be a red flag. Head shaking is a natural reflex to get rid of discomfort. It could be caused by a foreign object in the ear, an infection, allergies, especially weather-related, or even leftover moisture from a bath. Sometimes it's just wax buildup. But persistent shaking? That's your sign to take a closer look. Start with a quick visual inspection. Do you notice any redness, swelling, or a strange odor coming from your dog's ears? If so, don't reach for human eardrops. The ear is a delicate area, and what seems like a simple fix can actually make things worse. Instead, take your dog to the vet for a proper checkup. Frequent head shaking is often your dog's silent way of saying, "Something's wrong and I can't fix it." Once they're feeling better, you might catch them doing something completely different. Something both hilarious and mysterious. Carrying objects around the house and hiding them in the strangest places. Under pillows, behind the sofa, even buried in your laundry basket. While it might look like pure mischief, it's actually a leftover survival instinct. In the wild, dogs' ancestors would stash food or valuable items to keep them safe from other animals. That instinct is still alive today, just redirected toward toys, socks, or anything that smells like you. Instead of scolding, pause and take a closer look. What are they hiding? Does it carry your scent? If so, it might just be your dog's way of holding on to a piece of you, even when you're not around. And if you'd rather not keep finding your favorite socks in random corners, give your dog designated toys or soft items they can carry and hide to their heart's content. There's another behavior every dog owner has witnessed, one that quietly pulls at the heartstrings. It's that soft, subtle whining when your dog is left alone. It might not be loud, but it's enough to make your heart ache. Imagining them sitting by the door, waiting for your return. Dogs are pack animals. Being separated from the one they love, you, can stir up deep feelings of loneliness and insecurity. That gentle whine? It's their way of self-soothing. Or maybe even calling you back. If left unaddressed, this can build into separation anxiety, leading to excessive barking, scratching at doors, or even destructive behavior. To help, start small. Practice short periods of separation. Leave them with a favorite chew toy, or play calming music while you're away. And if the anxiety doesn't ease, consider working with a professional trainer or behaviorist. Because strong attachment is touching. It can also become an emotional burden for both of you. But then, on a warm, sunny day, you see a very different behavior. Your dog, rolling around in the grass, pure joy on their face. Until you realize they're not just rolling. They're rubbing into dirt, or worse, into something dead. You yell, "That's disgusting!" But your dog? They look absolutely thrilled. That strange, stinky habit? It actually goes way back to your dog's wild roots. In the wild, dogs would roll in strong, unfamiliar smells to mask their own scent and sneak up on prey undetected. Today, that instinct is still very much alive, though it's less about hunting dinner and more about feeling free, in control, and connected to their environment. So, no, they're not trying to get gross on purpose. They're just being a dog. Don't scold them. Instead, give them a gentle bath with mild soap, and maybe try to guide them toward cleaner patches of grass next time. And if you can't avoid it, try to smile. At least they're living life joyfully. Wild, silly, and completely true to their nature. But not all behaviors are loud or messy. Some are quiet, curious, even a little confusing. Like when your dog suddenly starts barking at the mirror or at the TV. You tilt your head and wonder, what on earth is he seeing? This usually happens with younger dogs, ones who haven't quite figured out that reflections aren't real. When they see movement, especially their own reflection or an animal on screen, they react instinctively. To them, it's a potential threat. That barking? It's not random. It's their way of guarding their territory or expressing uncertainty towards something unfamiliar. The best response? Don't panic or scold. Instead, calmly redirect their attention with a toy, a treat, or a familiar cue. Over time, they'll realize the mirror doesn't bark back, and the TV dog isn't coming over. And just like that, the barking stops. But some dog behaviors are even more subtle, like when your dog starts panting heavily, even though it's not that hot outside. Before you assume they're just tired, pause for a moment, because that panting might actually be a sign of stress, a quiet form of self-soothing. Panting, of course, helps dogs regulate their body temperature. But it's not always about heat. It can also be a reflex triggered when your dog's nervous system is activated by stress, fear, or overstimulation. Noisy environments, unfamiliar places, or being left alone can all lead to fast, shallow breathing, and that tongue hanging out a little more than usual. Pay close attention to the context. If your dog is panting in a new or chaotic space, try bringing them somewhere more familiar and quiet. If it happens during a walk, slow down. Speak to them softly. Sometimes, just your calm presence is enough to ease every racing heartbeat. And then, there's the vacuum cleaner. To many dogs, it's a full-on enemy invasion. The second you turn it on, they might bolt, bark, or hide behind the nearest piece of furniture like an earthquake just hit. And honestly, it makes sense. Vacuum cleaners emit high-frequency vibrations and loud, unpredictable noises that go far beyond a dog's comfort zone. To them, it's not just annoying, it feels threatening. You can help your dog get used to the vacuum gradually. Start by turning it on from a distance, never too close and never all at once. Reward calm behavior with treats or affection, and always let them retreat if they need to. But more importantly, respect their feelings. If it's cleaning time, consider taking them out for a walk. Your home gets tidier, and so does their mind. Then, in quieter moments, you might witness something that melts your heart. Your dog sitting peacefully, with their back turned toward you. It's easy to misread this as indifference, or even a little snub. But in the dog world, it's actually one of the deepest expressions of trust. Turning their back to you means they feel completely safe. They're not worried. They don't need to watch you. Instead, they face forward, watching over the world for you, like a loyal guard, because they know you're behind me, and I trust you to stay there. That quiet moment? It's not small. It's a symbol of a bond that doesn't need words. Next time you see it, gently place your hand on their back. It's your way of saying, "I've got your back too." And finally, one of the most common but often misunderstood behaviors. When your dog stretches the moment you come home, it's not just a lazy post-nap move. It's actually a powerful emotional gesture. That full-body stretch, lowered front, raised back, is known as the play bow. And it's your dog's way of saying, "I'm excited, I missed you, and I want to play." It's a joyful, silent greeting, an invitation to connect. You can answer with eye contact, a soft voice, or just a few minutes of play. In that moment, the stress of the day melts away, because someone waited hours just to stretch and smile the moment they saw you. As you've seen, every behavior, whether strange, funny, or confusing, is your dog's way of communicating love. They can't speak. They can't write. But every lick, bark, stretch, whimper, or stare while you're in the bathroom It's a language made entirely of emotion. Understanding that turns you from just a pet owner into something more, a true companion. Someone your dog trusts enough to give their entire short, beautiful life to. If any of these behaviors feel familiar, drop a comment below. Tell us which one touched your heart the most. And if you want to dive even deeper into the signs your dog truly loves you, watch the next video right here. You might be surprised at just how much they adore you. Maybe even more than you realize. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel so you never miss a video that helps you understand and love your dog better every single day.